Today we're talking about how to handle big fights with your girlfriend, with your wife. I'm sure you suspect I'm going to say don't give in. And of course I'm gonna say don't give in. But I'm talking about big fights, fights where you feel that this might be the end of the relationship if you don't handle it well. These big fights where both of you insist in fighting, none of you want to give in, and it starts becoming longer and longer, hours, sometimes days, sometimes even weeks. It is very common that when you reach certain point in a big fight, you just want to give in, to concede the victory to your significant other so you can go on with the relationship. You don't want to feel all this stress. You don't want all these problems every day haunting you. You're just tired of this. You want to be in peace and you want to be happy together, ultimately. The secret of what I want to tell you is that you have to be willing to take the loss. You have to be willing to lose your girlfriend, your wife, because of this. It sounds terrible. It sounds really awful. And being willing to lose your relationship doesn't mean that you have to try to not feel anything, that you have to try to not care about losing her. It is normal and it is expected that losing her will hurt, and it will hurt a lot. What I'm telling you is that you have to be wanting to make you the priority. You are the owner of your life, and you are the one that has to take care of it. If you don't take care of your life, no one will do it for you. There will be people that will care for you, of course, throughout your life. But in the end, in your lowest points, in your hardest moments, you can only count on yourself. This is not something that should make you view humanity as some wicked group of people. Everyone's life is their own. You don't have to take responsibility for things that are not your life. You can help out, of course, you can be there for the people you care for, but you do not have to solve the deepest issues within someone else. And no one is bound to do this with you. It is only natural, and it's okay. We are independent beings, each one of us. So you can expect from other people to care for you, to do some things for you, just as you care for others and do things for people that you care about. But do not expect someone else to solve the very fundamentals of your life. That is something that you have to do yourself. Regarding your significant other, this is also true. You have to take care of yourself in the first place, and she, your girlfriend, should do the same. Once each one of you has its own business taken care of, starting from that point, should you share your lives with one another. Of course you can help, of course you can support, but the nuclear responsibility in this is in each one of us with ourselves. So, when I tell you you have to be willing to lose her, I'm saying you have to be wanting to respect yourself. You have to be wanting to go for what you want in your life. Yes, you might be thinking, I want her in my life. But if she is not treating you well, if she is disrespecting you, if she is ignoring your feelings within your relationship, is that what you want? When you came into the relationship, were you wanting to receive what you have been receiving in this big fight? Of course not. You have to fight for the life you want. And part of that life is your romantic relationship. So, in a big fight with your girlfriend, do not give in. The foundation of what I'm saying is that you have thought about this matter and you are completely sure that you are the one that is right and she is wrong. So, when this moment arrives, when you are tempted to just let it go, concede, give in, let her win this fight, and whatever, don't do it. If you do that, she will learn that she can do whatever she wants with you and your feelings, and it won't matter. You will not end the relationship, or you will not show any signs of maybe wanting that. So she will feel completely safe treating you the way she has been treating you in this big fight, which is not good for you at all. Let's analyze the evolution of the fight. You had an argument. You told her what you wanted to tell her, and she told you what she wanted to tell you. You are sure you know that you are right and she is wrong, but she didn't understand that. Maybe she didn't listen to you, maybe she didn't care for what you had to say. For whatever reason, there is no middle ground here. So you stop speaking with each other. Minutes start to go by, hours start to go by, sometimes days start to go by, and God forbid, maybe weeks. You have to insist in your point of view. So you're not speaking to each other, and she starts to make everything worse. She starts saying things, doing things. Maybe she's doing things that are hard to point out. Women are specialists in this. They do things that are hard to point out in nature, so you cannot point them out, or at least not easily, and if you do, they will deny them, because none of these actions have been too explicit. Everything has been kind of undercover, but you are clear that this is happening. You know what she is doing, and she is being a pain for you, and she's hurting you at the same time. So, you had an argument, you know that she is wrong, and on top of that, she is starting to get these poisonous things into the argument that are not necessary, that are topics that have nothing to do with the argument. So now you're not only angry at her because of the fight itself, you're angry at her because she is doing all these things to make the situation worse and worse and worse. And you are certainly not doing this. You are just silent with her. This must not be tolerated. Now, when you finally speak about this argument, you have to make clear that she has been doing some external, additional things that are completely negative to the relationship. Let's continue with the evolution of this argument. You haven't talked for a while, and then suddenly she speaks to you, and she says, "I am very angry with you." What has been happening in her mind is that she thinks that you don't speak to her because you are too proud to admit that you are wrong, but you know you're wrong. That is what she thinks. She isn't speaking to you because she's angry at you. You don't speak to her because you won't admit you're wrong. But this is not the case, of course. The reality is that she is not speaking to you because she is angry, and you're not speaking to her because you're angry at her. So when she says that to you, answer her the following: "I am very angry at you." With this, she will see for the first time in this argument, the possibility that you are not speaking to her because you think you are right and she is wrong and you are angry for it. So at least, at the very least, she now may start thinking that both of you are feeling the same thing, regardless of who is right and who is wrong. With this, maybe she won't understand it right away, but it's a thought process that will start in her. She will start looking at the possibility that she might be wrong. If all this time has gone by and you have not gave in, maybe, just maybe, there is something there. This idea will start to grow in her little by little. Of course, she will not get convinced of this. She will still think she is in the right. But now there is a little window open to maybe listen with more care to what you have to say. So, maybe right in that moment, she will not be ready to talk this out. Look at her face and you will see if she's ready right away or not. You know her, she is your significant other, so you will know if she's ready right away or not. When she's ready, then you have to have a conversation. You have to go on with the argument. You have stopped speaking to her because you said everything you had to say about this, and she did not comply. You have probably nothing new to say apart of these extra poisonous things that we were talking about, but about the main topic of the argument, you have nothing new to say. Everything has been said, at least on your part. You can say the same things all over again, and she will most likely pay better attention to what you have to say, to your feelings. So maybe this time she will be more open to understand what is going on. This is the objective of all this. On top of repeating over again everything that you have already said, now you have to speak to her about all these extra things that she has been doing and saying. Tell her that it is something that should not be tolerated from any of you two. Tell her that you haven't been doing these things, and it is very saddening to see her doing it, because that makes you feel that she doesn't care for your relationship. She is just willing and wanting to destroy everything, if necessary, just because of an argument. Ask her if she thinks that that should be the way of you both acting within this relationship. Tell her that you do not agree, that you feel that both of you should care for the relationship even if you are in a big argument. The objective of this is that in the future, if you have a big argument again, which will most likely happen, you can limit the amount of hostilities to just the topic of the argument. Women are very prone to start adding up more and more negative things when you are fighting. Stop her right away. Tell her this, make it clear to her that this should not be done if she really cares about the relationship. If she does, she cannot reject what you're saying. This is the way to solve this. This is the way to start guiding your relationship with her in a way that you will protect your relationship from going out the window for just any big argument. You want to be stronger together than that. If you speak about this and both of you are willing to do that, you will have a better relationship in the long term, even in front of big arguments. Now we have spoken of she speaking to you, But there might be some women that will not speak to you. They will wait until you speak to her. And if a lot of time goes by, she will start thinking about ending the relationship. And when you do finally start to speak, she will have a very negative mindset towards you and the relationship. I said before, maybe weeks go by without speaking to each other. You must not let this happen. This is too much time. None of you want this. And she will be submerged in her thoughts, and she is thinking that you know that you're wrong and you don't want to speak to her out of stubbornness. Do not let her continue in the spiral of that thought, because she will start hating you little by little. If a couple of days go by, you speak to her, look her into her eyes, and tell her, I am very angry with you. With this, you will start the same process that we have talked about if she spoke to you first. If you start the conversation and you say this, it is likely that she will answer the same thing towards you. I am the one very angry with you. It doesn't matter. Now you have started the conversation. Now you have stated that you don't think that you are wrong. You are not speaking to her because you are angry. So now you can start all over again the argument. In this argument, if this happens, if you have to take the first step to start speaking to each other again, you have to tell her at some point that you are very frustrated with the fact that you had to speak to her, being that she is wrong. You can tell her this after you have made some of your points. When she starts seeing that she has not been as right as she thought, then you can say this. If you say this just starting the conversation, it will make no sense whatsoever to her, and she will stop listening to you from that point on, because she will think that you are not making any sense. Everything that has made you angry towards her during this period, no matter how little, you have to tell her. You have to speak about everything so you can stop this kind of behavior from her for the future. There is something that I wanted to talk about also, and it's going to bed if you live together, going to bed angry with each other. I have read and listened to something in various occasions. Many men say that you should not go to bed angry with your significant other, that you should make up before going to sleep. This is bad advice. If you are angry with her because of what she has done, and she hasn't apologized, she hasn't realized that she is wrong and that she should change what she has done, you should not stop being angry, of course. Why should you? Nothing has changed. If nothing has changed on her part, do not stop being angry and go to bed angry. It doesn't matter. You are angry, you don't have to lie to yourself or to give in. I have read somewhere else the advice that if you go to bed angry, you go to sleep being angry with each other, that you as the man should with your feet touch her feet. The person saying this said that this will show her that you are angry with her, but you still love her and you don't intend to end the relationship for this, that you are still together, you still have all this love and good feelings towards her. This is terrible advice. If you are unhappy with what she is doing, you have to express her exactly that. Do not express other things. If you express positive things, she will think she is in the right. You will be reaffirming what she is thinking to herself, that you know that you are in the wrong, but you still do not dare to apologize to her. If you touch her feet, she will be reassured of that. Of course, you don't want to do that. You are not speaking to her because you are angry with her, because you have felt disrespected by her. You have felt that she has been hurting your feelings. You have felt that she is ignoring your feelings, that she doesn't care about your feelings, about what you feel, what you think. And you have to show her that you are angry, that you are not wanting to speak with her until she apologizes. So don't get your feet touching with hers. Now, if she touches your feet, maybe with the same intention of expressing to you that, well, you are in the wrong, you haven't apologized, but I still love you, and I'm still waiting for that apology. Pull your feet out of there. Do not let her touch your feet or touch you in any way. Do not accept any kind of positive interaction from her towards you. Be sincere with yourself. You don't want this from her in this moment because you are angry with her, you are unhappy with her, you are sad and hurt about the things that she has said, about the things that she has done. You do not want that from her in this moment. You want to get to an agreement first, and then you will want to feel her closer to you, but not before that. Who would want that? We are angry, we are frustrated, we are hurt. We don't want her touch in any ways until we get this straight. When you get to finally speak to each other, remember to not fall into anger. Control your feelings. Be cold about it. When you feel that she is hurting you, that she is doing all these extra things to bring more negativity to the fight, to make it bigger and bigger, you have to step out of this situation. I'm meaning, get your heart out of this. Put a shield on. Stay cold. Stay cool. Do not yell. Do not lose control. Speak clearly and firmly when you speak to her and argue with her. Make it clear that you know you're in the right, you know she is in the wrong. And also make it clear that you will not lose control. You will not become aggressive with her. The hostilities will be mainly being cold towards her and not accepting any kind of closeness with her. You are feeling like this because you have thought of this, you have reflected on it, and you know that some things that she has said and done are hurtful to you, are wrong, are things that should not be part of your relationship. You know that if you acted that way towards her, she would be hurt and she would not tolerate it. Act this way. Do not give in. Do not speak to her unless too many hours or too many days have gone by. Keep a cold attitude. Do not give in to anger, and do not give in ever to anything that is harmful to you or to the relationship. You can always compare anything that she does with what would happen. How would she feel if you did that? She will not usually think about these things. That's why you, as the man of the relationship, prone to thinking about things, reflecting on things, will have an objective solution that will be positive for both of you if both of you implement it. If you are wrong, you will know that you're wrong. And then, of course, you have to apologize to her and you have to propose to her measures that you will apply in the future to prevent this from happening again. On the other side, if she is wrong, you will know that she is the one that is wrong. You are the one that is more capable of realizing who is in the right and who is in the wrong. Be sincere with yourself about this. Do not try to win an argument in which you know that you have done wrong. And do not let her try to win an argument in which you know that she is wrong. If you make this a part of your relationship, both of you in the long term will feel that your relationship is fair to both sides. This is the important thing. We want the relationship to work out. We want you and her to be happy with what you have built, with how you interact with each other, even when there is a disagreement. If you liked this video, like and subscribe. If you have any comment on this subject, please leave a comment below. See you next time.